If you've been playing games for a while, you may have noticed a stark change in the way games are made. Not just in their visual fidelity or storytelling depth, but how they're conceptualized as entertainment. Games used to do a lot using very little, and Fez remembers why this made games great. It borrows ideas from a long-gone era and then mashes them together with original ideas. Consequently, it pretty much reinvents one of gaming's oldest and most beloved genres. Just looking at Fez gives you a good idea of what it's going for. The pixelated visuals draw on old school games for inspiration, but Fez goes beyond its influences. This is a game that drags the 8-bit era into the future. Its bright, vibrant colors bring the detailed world to life. There's a lot going on within each space, and it's always changing. Day turns to night, animals scuttle about, and nefarious black holes rip through the fabric of space. The aesthetic here is beautiful, and music helps a lot with that. It draws on 8-bit era conventions too, but the themes are ambient and catchy, and unlike what we've heard in most other games, new or old, Fez is a lovable little wonder before it even becomes a game. When it kicks into gear, Fez doesn't dwell on story for very long, but there's enough set up to give you a purpose. Quick and funny dialogue bits show that the population of this 2D world is obsessed with the second dimension. When an ominous cube shows up and explodes, everyone's suddenly afraid of 3D. As Gomez, that little white dude in the sweet Fez, you can control it. This is where the real motivation comes in. Reassembling that cube will right the wrongs of the third dimension. Fez is all about hippity-hop platforming, but this isn't what makes it special. This is a super smart puzzle game that uses traversal to make you think. Complexity comes in the form of one simple little mechanic that fundamentally changes the way you can interact with the environment. Rotating the world 90 degrees at a time gives Fez new opportunities to break your brain. Fez exists in a 3D space, but it always presents itself in the second dimension. Something that appears flat on one side might actually stick out a few feet when you rotate the world. This complicates things. It's also why navigating each area is so much fun. Fez never tells you what to do or where to go, so every time you enter a new level, you explore things at your own pace. There's no urgency, so take time to breathe in the brilliant designs. Figuring out the nuances of a new space and then using it to your advantage is really satisfying. A ledge you couldn't quite reach before becomes a stepping stone when the world's twisted. Manipulating your way up to a treasure chest or stumbling on a hidden purple door really feels like an accomplishment. Every moment of Fez is a new discovery that builds up to the real reward, collecting bits and pieces of that exploded cube. They open doors to even more clever areas, with more cube bits. It's a delightful cycle that makes players want to hunt down every last bit of the broken cube. Not always knowing how to proceed can be frustrating, especially as you learn how to read the complicated map. But that makes things all the sweeter when you stumble onto 10 more levels hidden behind another inviting door. Fez is a game that's in love with games. Its original ideas reinvigorate an old genre and remind players of an era most left behind, forgot about, or weren't around to see. More importantly, Fez is a reminder that this medium matters. Games like Fez challenge us to think in unique ways, solve complex problems with basic interaction, and play an active role in something extraordinary. Above all else, Fez reminds players why they started playing video games in the first place. To have fun. For more on Fez, spin on over to IGN.com.